All right, so I am reading the test for the lines, angles, and triangles test. First of all, super important, make sure when you're answering each question, only put the number answer on the line. No labels or degrees, otherwise the computer will mark your answer wrong. So that's really important. So if you think your answer, my whole example as you see going through might be like 28 degrees or 28 students, whatever that might be, you're just writing the number 28. Make sure that you're not putting any spaces or anything like that. Just put the numbers because then it will make sure that everything's marked correctly. Okay, so first of all, you should have your last name, then your first name, and then please check your period, math class period, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, or 9th. All right. Next question, match the following terms to their definitions on the right. Check only one box for each term. So our first question is an acute angle. Is an acute angle two or more angles that add up to 180 degrees, an angle that's less than 90 degrees, or two angles that are opposite from each other and are equal? So you'll just check the box. So if you think acute angle is that one, you would check that box. If you think it's less than 90 degrees, you would check that one. Or if you think they're equal to each other, you would check that one. So supplementary angles, are they two or more angles that add up to 180 degrees, an angle less than 90 degrees, or two angles that are opposite from each other and are equal? And finally, vertical angles, two or more angles that add up to 180, an angle less than 90, or two angles that are opposite from each other and equal. Okay, next one, same exact thing. You're checking one box for each term. We have the word line, congruent, and complementary angles. Excuse me. For line, two or more angles whose measures are equal, extends forever, never bending or ending in both directions, or two or more angles that add up to 90 degrees. Congruent, two or more angles whose measures are equal, extends forever, never bending or ending in both directions, or two or more angles that add up to 90 degrees. Finally, complementary angles, two or more angles whose measures are equal, extends forever, never bending or ending in both directions, or two or more angles that add up to 90 degrees. Next set, again exactly the same. Our words are ray, obtuse, angle, and point. You're matching each of those terms to the definitions. Check only one box for each term. Very important. So ray, a specific location in space, usually marked by a dot, a part of a line that begins at a point and extends in one direction, or an angle whose measure is more than 90 but less than 180 degrees. Obtuse angle, is it a specific location in space, usually marked by a dot, a part of a line that begins at a point and extends in one direction, or an angle whose measure is more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Point, is it a specific location in space, usually marked by a dot, a part of a line that begins at one point and ends in a direction, or extends in one direction, or is it an angle whose measure is more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees? Okay, what type of angle relationship are D, which is right here, and B, which is right here? They are directly across from each other, forming those V's. So that's a big hint. Are they supplementary angles, complementary angles, or vertical angles? So again, D and B, and they form the V. Okay. Next question, what type of angle relationship are D and H? Notice there is a right angle symbol. So when these two angles are added together, they equal 90. So is that a supplementary angle, complementary angle, or vertical angle? Sorry guys, I am tired. What type of angle relationship are B and A? So they are on a straight line and they are next to each other. So this whole thing is 180. So which one means when you add the two angles together, it equals 180? Supplementary angles, complementary angles, or vertical angles? Okay, next one. Find the missing angle measure. So this is a straight line. You're figuring out what x equals. So write your answer on the line. Please do not label. For example, if you think the answer is x equals 28 degrees, you just write 28 on the line. So whatever you think x equals, just write the number on the line, and that is it. Okay, same thing for the next one. We see that this is a right angle. That's all I'm going to tell you. These two have to add to equal something. You know, part of it's 62, so how much does that have to be? Again, write your answer on the line. Please do not label. For example, if you think the answer is x equals 28 degrees, you just write 28 on the line. Next one, for the missing measure angle x, write your answer on the line. Again, these form V's, so that should give you a hint on what type of angles those are. So, for example, if you think the answer is x equals 28 degrees, you just write 28 on the line. So I use the same example every single time, but remember you're just writing the number on the line. All right, next question. Make an equation and only solve for x. You are not substituting in. So let's say your answer you get is 15. You're not substituting in 5 times 15 and then 2 times 15 plus 24. You're not actually solving the problem like to get the angle measurement. You just want what x equals. So you're going to either put these two numbers equal to each other, or you're going to add them together and put them equal to 90 or 180. So you need to know the angle relationship. So again, do not figure out the angle measures. Please write your answer on the line. Do not label. For example, if you think the answer is x equals 28, just write 28 on the line. You're solving for x. Do not find the actual angle measures. Same thing for the next problem. Make an equation and only solve for x. Do not figure out the angle measures. Okay, so these two, you're either going to put equal each other. You're either going to add them and put them equal to 90 or add them and put them equal to 180, depending on what the angle relationship is. So again, you're only solving for x. Do not figure out the angle measures. Write your answer in the line. Please do not label. For example, if you think the answer is x equals 28 degrees, just write 28 on the line. Next one, we have a triangle. We need to classify its triangle by its angles and sides. Just like Mrs. Bovenizer said, we're coming up with a first name and a last name for our triangle. We first start with the angles, then we move to the sides. But before we do any of that, you need to find this missing angle, and that should help you. So after you find the missing angle, is this a right scalene triangle? Is it an acute isosceles? Is it a right equilateral or an obtuse scalene? Okay, next one. Classify the triangle by its angles and side. Again, find the missing angle and then you can classify it. Remember, by its first and last name. So you first do it by its angles and then by the sides. So is this a right scalene, acute isosceles, right equilateral, or obtuse scalene? And finally, our last question, same exact thing. Classify the triangle by its angles and sides. You need to find the missing angle measure, and then you need to go from there. Remember, first and last name, what type of angles, and then type of sides. Is it a right scalene, acute isosceles, right equilateral, or obtuse scalene? All right, guys, that's it for our test. Make sure you click the submit button when you're done. If you have any questions, please feel free to email myself or Mrs. Bovenizer. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.